Okay, I'm quite aggravated at this point because yesterday, or it was a week ago I recorded the video, but yesterday I went to edit it. Turns out something happened and it got deleted to the original video on this unit when I first picked it up. This is a Hotpoint air conditioner. I really wish I had the original video because I had it taken apart and showed more in depth than I can show right now because I already have it installed, and I'm not going to remove it again because it's kind of a pain in the ass to get it in here, because although there's this much space on the edge of the window here, on the outside you can see, I mean, it barely fits in there. It was a pain in the ass to get it in here. This thing is heavy as shit too. This is a Hotpoint. Let's see. I need a light so I can tell you the information on the inside of it. I used to have two flashlights. They sit right there, but now I don't have them. They're gone. That one's this big ass thing. I don't know if it works. This is kind of neat. It's got like a large halogen car headlight in there. Battery's dead. It just plugs in. It might work. I don't know. I just got it. I haven't tried it. Anyway, let's see here. Let me get this screwdriver because it's got lights on it. There we go. This is a Hotpoint. I'm sorry you're not going to really be able to see in there. Hotpoint model KQ70BASQ2. It is 7,600 BTU. Has 21.75 ounces of R22. A 7.5 EER. Which is kind of low, but you know, that's just a bunch of bullshit anyway. Manufactured in April of 1984. There you go. Here it is. It's obviously it's a 120 volt unit. This thing's actually pretty nice as far as quality goes. It's got these metal knobs and they go into metal things. That's that stupid vent in there. You can direct these side to side or up and down, although I do have them taped up because they kind of want to face forward no matter what, so I've got a piece of tape there. Nice wood grain front panel, a little on the dirty side, but this was falling off when I got it. It actually blew off in the back of the truck and was laying on the bottom of the truck. I'm glad it didn't blow off onto the highway and never to be seen again, because well, then I wouldn't, that would piss me off. Front's in perfect condition. If we open it up here, you can see my dirty old filter with a hole in it. I need to replace this. I just haven't been to the store. Next time I go, I'm going to get one. It's got this spine thin tubing that General Electric you like to use in the 80s and 70s, 80s, whatever. This thermostat, so it originally had this thing in here. You know, thermostat mounts up in here, and it's got like some little holes on the bottom of the box. This is one of those probeless thermostats. It's got the disc in there or whatever, and it just senses the temperature. But I don't like these because they're sensing the temperature inside of this box and not in the actual room, so they're not accurate. And I had the thing turned down all the way to max, and it was only about 70 something in here, like 74, I don't remember. So now all the way down to max, it keeps it about 68. I need to take it apart again, and well, 68 is the temperature that I want it to be at. So I don't have a problem with that, but you know, at max it should be colder. There's a little screw you can adjust on the thermostat itself, but I'm not sure if I'm even going to bother because 68 is where I want it anyway. But you know, it's got the probe that comes out and then goes here, and it actually tells what the temperature in the room is and not in there. So I go ahead and put the front thing back on. This might be a two-handed operation. Well, it looks like I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm not sure if there was like a model name to this thing. I know GE like to name their air conditioners, like it's not a Fashionette or a Fashionaire or whatever. So I think it might be a quiet air, but that's a General Electric. This is the Hotpoint version. Here's the back of it. Rather interesting design for the condenser too. But this unit, I have to say, unlike the quiet airs and unlike the Fashion Air and the Fashionette, this thing is designed really, really well. And I see no reason why this unit should fail anytime soon. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see how much grass blows out of it. Let me cut the compressor off. This is must be a thermostat out of an EQK or something, because you can see it doesn't really click off, but when you get here, it does that for fan only. Let's go ahead and go to high, and yep, look, more grass. I had this thing completely apart. I had the blower wheel out of it, and I cleaned a pile of grass out of it, but it's still, every time I turn it on, you can see it's all over. Every time I turn it on, I've been using it for over a week now, it is shooting grass out at me. I don't understand. I'm going to put the thermostat between temperatures. Leave the compressors over here somewhere. Let's go ahead and cut it on. And it's not going to cut on. Let me warm up the thermostat, I guess. Put my hand on there. Let's see. There it goes. A very smooth running compressor in this unit. It is a rotary. More grass. Damn. It's getting annoying. And this thing gets cold instantly. The coil gets all the way cold through. I find that spine fin coil seems to get colder. So here's high. Here's low, and here's ultra low. Now ultra low on this unit, or even low, I mean really, let me just turn it, actually let me turn it all the way up to high, and step over here. This is a really quiet and really smooth running unit. We'll go ahead and turn it down to low. And now we'll turn it down to ultra low, which I guess would technically be low, and low would be medium. On ultra low, this unit is, I don't want to say silent, but for an 8,000 BTU unit, pretty much, this thing is nearly silent. And it's not like it doesn't move a considerable amount of air. I wish I had something to demonstrate it. Here we go. Look, I'm holding this all the way back here. Hear how quiet it is, and see how much air this thing is still moving way back here? I mean, you can feel it across the room, even on low, when it's on this quiet. This is a very powerful fan, even on low, and it's very quiet. Very aerodynamic. You don't hear a lot of wind noise. And of course the compressor's nice and smooth, not like a modern rotary. I find that these GE units have very good running rotaries. They have a Portacool, Hotpoint Portacool, that's not in my possession right now, but I own it, and it uses a very similar compressor. So we'll look at the outside. I wish I still had the unit. I wish I had my original video, because I showed it off in better detail why this is such a great design. Let's go ahead and see it from here. I left it on ultra low. You can hear how quiet it is. Here's the outside of it. Now, it's hard to tell from up here. Unlike most air conditioners, if you see there's no air, like that thing is not being blown around, this unit, the condenser coil's not in the back. The condenser coil is on the side. It wraps around over the top and around the side, and it's spine fin tubing. It's the same stuff that's in here. Right, spine fin tubing. And let's see, speaking of here, don't do this at home. You can see it's spine fin tubing up in there. It goes around the top, and so it sucks in the back and blows air out the side. Now that's kind of neat, but that's not why I think this is a really great design. I don't know if you can tell here, but this this bottom pan is plastic, so it's not metal. The cooling, the copper, the what do you call those things? Coils are all aluminum. There's no metal on the sides of them. The fan motor is held up by a bracket that's attached to part of like the inside wall. It's hard to describe, but it doesn't have a mount coming down and attaching into the pan. And if you look this compressor mount, the compressor, see, it's mounted like about 2 inches above the bottom of the pan. And then here's the drain hole. Now it's not a drain hole, it does have a slinger wheel. We'll get into that in a second. But you can see this is ever so slightly lower than the bottom of the compressor mount there. So it will drain if it gets above that level, but it allows water to sit in the pan for the slinger. Now most air conditioners have a metal pan, the compressor sits right on, right in there with the mounts there, the fan mount and the coil, all that's just bathing in a bath of water. But this unit, the coil's not sitting in a bath of water. There's nothing metal sitting in a bath of water, and the pan is plastic. So this unit is the one unit that I have not drilled a drain hole in. Now if somebody knows about these units, or somebody has a reason why I should put a drain hole in it instead of leaving it as is, feel free to let me know. But at this point, although I don't think that the slinger wheel slinging water onto the coil really helps efficiency or helps cool it that much, I don't see how it's really hurting anything in this situation. I see no reason why I really need to drill a drain hole. Nothing metal is sitting in water except for like maybe the tips of some of the spine fins on the spine fin tubing, but that's all aluminum. And I mean, it's what, 1984? That's like 30 some years old. 38. I can't do math in my head. Let's see here. 84, 94, 2004, 2024. I'm missing one. 2014. God, it's 39 years old. So it's 39 years old, and it doesn't have a slight hint of corrosion on any of that spine fin tubing. So I'm not really concerned about it. I mean, it's got absolutely zero rust inside of it. I mean, hell, even the tips of the screws are still shiny on this thing. But that's a completely different thing. The point is, I see no reason why a drain hole really needs to be added to this unit, because the pan's plastic, the compressor's mounted above the water, the fan is not mounted in there, and the coil doesn't have any actual metal that'll rust on it, and it's not like it's sitting in a pool of water either. So I think this is if you're going to have a slinger wheel, this is the way to do it. This is a very good design. The only thing about these units that I really don't like, and it's the same thing on the Carry Cool, is that they glue the refrigerant pipes together. Instead of soldering, or I guess technically brazing them together, they use some sort of epoxy. Now I've only had 2 GE units with this style coil. Actually, I've only had 2 GE units in general. This is one of them, and the other one is that Hotpoint Portacool, and they both have a full charge on them. And from what I've seen, it's not an extremely common failure point. So I guess the glue that they use holds up pretty well. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of glued refrigerant pipes. I guess brazing I don't know. Anyway, it seems like a very, very good design to me. And unless somebody has a specific reason why I should put a drain hole in this unit, I don't think I'm going to, just because of the fact, not because I think that not having the slinger is gonna, or not that I think that having the slinger is gonna help anything much, but in this case I just don't see how it's hurting anything. Here is the top of the unit. I wish I could open this window, but I can't. But I guess I could, but I'm not going to, because I'd have to hold it. Anyway, the coil wraps around the top, so believe me, the top here, there's hot air blowing up and to both sides, and it sucks in the back. And looking at the design of this, I thought that servicing this was going to be a royal pain in the ass. kind of was a pain to get it apart. But that was only because I really didn't know how to get it apart, because it's such a drastically different design. But now that I know how to get it apart, I don't think it's that bad. It's not that hard to service at all. So yeah, I think this is a very good design, very nice unit. It's very quiet, it runs very smooth, and even though it's only 8,000 BTU, you can see right now, it's all the way down, it cuts off, it's 68 degrees in here. Now up there, it's 71 because it's closer to the ceiling. This camera's not high enough definition to show that. Believe me, it's 71 up there, which is still a very respectable temperature. When I cut these lights off, it'll go down even more. But yeah, I normally just run it on low, which is technically medium, because I don't mind things being loud if they're smooth, and this is definitely smooth. On high, this thing moves a ton of air. I want you to see, on high, it's not even pointed, like it's pointed right about here, but you can see, sort of, it's moving this light. Now this isn't a flimsy, cheap light. This is a heavy enamel-covered fluorescent light with a heavy magnetic ballast in it. And this thing is swinging that light back and forth with the air that it's putting out. Oh, what'd I do with that sticky note? Here's a rag. I don't remember what I was cleaning. I think, actually, it might have been this unit. This thing, it moves a lot of air for how quiet it is. Yeah, I'm still sort of pissed that my original video on this got deleted, because it was much better, because I actually could demonstrate what I was talking about, not just explain it. And I'm better at demonstrating things than I am at explaining them. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, one more thing. This unit was advertised as being an 18,000 BTU unit. It's obviously not. It's only 7,600. For a modern unit, though, it could pass as an 18,600, sorry, an 18,000 BTU unit. It moves enough air that I would believe it is one. It's large and heavy enough. I mean, really. So I could see trying to scam someone into believing that this is a 18,000 BTU unit. The guy I bought this from was like 70-some years old. Might have even been older than that. I don't remember. He said he was all worried because he's worried I wasn't going to be able to lift it up into the truck. And he said he couldn't help lift it because he's had 2 strokes and just had a heart attack recently. So I don't think he was trying to scam me, but he sort of did. But that's fine, because I don't want an 18,000 BTU unit. I was going to pick it up because it was vintage and I didn't want someone to get a hold of it and tear it up. But I'm much happier with an 8,000 BTU unit, because I've been finding little tiny things, little 5,000 BTU units that can't do shit. And then I've been finding 10, 12,000 BTU units that are too big to fit in this window. This thing here is perfect. So, this is better than an 18,000 BTU unit, in my opinion, for the case that I have currently anyway. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.